What up? What up? What up? What up? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Oh yeah. You know what time it is? If you believe in the concept. First Sky Omaha Radio. About to begin. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Get up, get your body moving. There we go. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. The show is dedicated to you, all the chat chimers. This song is dedicated to nature's God. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Nature's God. I like that hat, buddy. Have a Coke and a smile. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Got a good morning from Judy Prenzler. Good morning, family. Good morning from Wanda Lewis. Lucia Rodriguez says good morning. Happy Monday. Happy Monday to you too. Leah Keisha says hi. Hey. Brother Muhammad in the house. Assalamu alaikum, family. Everybody get up.
Get your wristband at the Breakfast Club.
Yeah, that's what's up. What's up? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh, yes, once again, First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, Buddy the God, Star Trek Rich on this Monday, April 25th, 2022. It does feel like a Monday, but feeling pretty good though. Not too bad. Not too bad this morning. Yeah. It's been a long weekend.
Feeling better in here, man. It's cold out there.
Oh, so you went to Atlanta, all of a sudden now it's cold outside.
Man, I think I am like, I don't know, my blood got warmer. I don't know what's going on. I had a friend was grilling outside in a white t-shirt and some shorts. I'm like,
Now you know how I've been feeling for the last 10 years.
Man.
We got a good morning from Amy Hutflis. Good morning to you. Michelle Moreno says good morning. Positive vibes. We know we love those. Stacey Jean says, good morning, First Sky, Omaha family and friends. And Rome's Reviews. Mayor Sanchez says, top of the morning. Wanda Lewis says, happy birthday. Okay, so Stacey Jean got a birthday going on. That's what's up. Yeah, well, good morning to all y'all. And I got to tell you, right off the bat, it was such a pleasure to be able to meet so many people in person and party and vibe with y'all the other night at the Chat Chimers Kickback. That was some of the most fun I've had in a long time.
Man,
a long time going out, man. Yeah, that was dope. I was not expecting so many people to show up, and yeah, it was good.
The
good
Chat
vibes.
Chimers showed up and showed out. Big shout out to my man Shaq, aka DJ Scotty Pigeon on the ones and twos. Woo!
Man, he came with it.
Vibes.
Yeah, man. Tell us everybody who showed up. Let us know how you felt that day as well, because I definitely felt like, wow, man. You know, it doesn't really hit you. You know, we do this online stuff, and it don't really hit you all that hard about like everybody that's actually like getting up and tuning in the morning. So,
thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah.
Can definitely feel the love in the room, man, for sure.
Yeah, Miss Erica Felt says, good morning with your early bird selves. Miss Erica Felt, what happened to you the other night?
Man, I saw you posted a picture talking about all the youngsters turned in early.
Try to act like the youngsters turned in early, knowing she took a nap. And that's why she was late. Oh man, it was interesting too, because I figured we shut the party down about 10 o'clock because we figure people are gonna be in and out. You know, everybody need to go get dinner and so on and so forth. So we're gonna make it no all nighter, but everybody was pushing to stay a little bit.
Okay.
After that, yes, even Scotty, he was like, "Well, let me wind them down to 10:30 at least. Like, I'm gonna just cut it off now." So I was like, "Okay, well, keep the party going in. It's all like that." Go on, keep the party moving.
Go ahead, bless the people. Yep, Amy Hutflis giving Scotty Pigeon some love.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, he got down. That was really, really, really nice.
Yeah, man.
Miss Eric said, who goes to the bar before 10:30? Okay, well.
Yeah.
Wasn't exactly at the bar.
Yeah, well, we was, man. Paul's expecting me to bring my baby. Like, come on, man.
It's a tiny house. It's baby friendly. We could.
Oh man.
I was just thinking you brought the kids last time, but we was all outside and stuff last time
see,
though.
it's
Yeah.
different. It's different. They outside.
Rome said ain't no party like a first Sky party because them other parties ain't okay. That's what's up, man.
Hey,
And also there ain't early we like to party early so we can go party late if we need to. So
man.
it was just good to be able to get everybody in there for everybody that wanted to come. She says, Miss Erica Fell says, I'm sad though. I didn't mean to fall asleep. Wanted to see everyone and Buddy. Yeah, that would have been nice. But we'll do it again. You know us.
Yeah, I'll be back in September.
Oh, that's what's up. Okay.
Yeah. Just I'm DJing the wedding. I just confirmed it. Just signed everything. So yeah, I'll be back.
That'll roll. Miss Erica Fell says DJ didn't lead to 11 something. That's why he wanted to keep on jamming, man.
Yeah.
I said, that's what's up. I said, well, look, bro, we only paid you to 10, so do
No.
what you want to
do. Just letting you know now.
Todd Pinson says, morning, love you all. Thanks for the love. Hey. Appreciate that. Yeah.
What's up?
Man, it feels good, man. It feels really good. The fam, it was incredible. So I've been reeling off of that for the last couple of days, really.
For sure, man. That was the point. And then also I kind of turned around and saw some more of the film at the Earth Day event yesterday. Yes. So big shout out to everybody who was at Earth Day on Saturday. Actually, Scotty Pigeon was out there chilling, just in the cut. Just
like, let's see what's up.
Check. Yeah. It was a good time, man. Big shout out to the homies Marcy Yates. It's a video of me doing my thing on stage somewhere floating around. So
yeah, we posted it on Friends. Yeah. We seen you out there. That's what's up. Yeah, man. So it was a good day. Earth Day was a good day yesterday too, huh? Or was it Saturday?
Actually, with me complaining about how cold it was, Saturday was actually one of the most decent days, since I've been here. It tried to rain a little bit, but eventually cleared up, and it was a good time. It was a good time. Also, congratulations to the partners over at the Reader for getting an award during Earth Day. So
John Heason, man. It's a good time. It's a good time to recognize the work that he's been doing for real. So he's been a friend of the environment for a long time. So shout out to John Heason and the Reader. But yeah, man.
Miss Erica Fell says her son was out there Earth Day to check me out. Okay.
Oh, okay. That's what's up. Give me some reviews. How did you feel? I know that you was feeling a little under the weather the night before. Was you everything cool when you got there?
Yeah, man. I don't know what was going on. Like literally was fine at the wedding because I came down here to go to a wedding.
Right.
Just to attend a friend of the family's wedding, and I was fine. And then by the time I got to the tiny house, like my voice started going out on me. And I've been drinking tea ever since then. But I did take a COVID test. No COVID.
Yep.
No COVID. So just I think honestly I got a little bug from my daughters, man. You know how kids be, man. They sneeze in your face and it's all she wrote.
Sneeze in your face and smile at you.
Yeah, man. And they have no holds, no holds barred, no regard for anybody. They just all in your face, man. So
well, it's also traveling, man. Every time I travel, get on a plane anywhere, if I don't rest up after I get off the plane a little bit, then I'm running myself in the ground,
Honestly, and I think that might be a part. I think that me traveling, not really resting, fasting for Ramadan, and then my girls having a bug. I think me kind of doing that weaken my immune system, and then they got me. They got me.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better. I'm glad all the plans went through. Everything went how it's supposed to go.
Got the tea on deck. So gotta do what I do to do what we can.
Heard that. That's what's up. Right on. Well, let's see. Miss Erica Fell says cootie monsters act like they're giving you a special gift. That's you. There you go, Dad.
Right. You're not gonna say thank you.
That is what it is. Yeah, we'll definitely be doing that again because every time first of all, every time Buddy's in town, but we also have some events planned coming up here in this year as well. Stuff over at Tiny House, but also stuff over at the Culture House. We've been talking to those guys over there about doing some stuff. Man. And Benson Theater as well. So as a matter of fact, there's one on the books right now for Sky Omaha and the Friends of the House of Afro Capes and Curls, if you guys know who they are, behind AfroCon. We're going to be doing a showing of The Wiz at the Benson Theater, but we're going to be doing it Rocky Horror Picture Style.
Dope.
Everybody dressing up, singing all the songs, so on and so forth. So yeah, so we're planning on some events happening this year, some real fun stuff to get together and vibe on, because it's all about the vibe for us. So that's what it is. Vicky Young, this is a good morning. What's happening? Miss Erica Felt, yes,
Yeah, you heard it. We
you
built
heard
a
it.
community, man. We have built this community all with your help here at First Sky Omaha, and we are not taking it lightly. We definitely appreciate the support that we've been getting, the love that we felt in the air on Friday. So
Yeah.
yeah, we definitely want to bring that community together, man. So yeah, look out for more stuff. And if y'all have some ideas, we all ears.
Yeah, for sure. So we definitely going. They already gave us some ideas at the event the other night. They said it's got to be the First Guy Omaha cookout next.
Hey, okay.
So
Man,
yeah,
speaking of that, Mayor Sanchez, man, I'm mad I didn't get any of the tacos, man. I heard it was all pork, man. I can't mess with the swine. But
yeah.
next time.
Mayor Sanchez just on the whim, on his own, just decided he's gonna come feed the peoples, and
Man,
came on through. Just like, see, he needs to go and run for mayor, just like that, man. Came on through. So appreciate that, man. He brought carnitas to the spot. Not only did he feed us, he fed everybody else that was at the bar
man,
as well. So that's what's up, man. It's all love. It's
that's
a
what it's
beautiful thing.
about.
Oh, Pops told me to tell you that the one place that he probably would have come out was was that. So he's sorry he missed it, and he'd love to see all the photos of everybody that was there. But he was like, yeah, man. He goes, if I was in Omaha, I would have absolutely came out to that, because that looked like fun, and it was the fam, it was the family. That's
Man,
that's what it's all about, So, yep. That's what's up. Amy Huffley says, I told him it's expected now. Tacos every time, right?
hey.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
Well,
man. Yeah,
welcome
man.
again. First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
It is Monday, the 25th
Yeah.
of April. It's already, man, this is a trip. Yeah, time is flying. So,
Yeah.
yeah, hold on to it.
Do you believe in the concept?
It's whatever you believe in, it's moving, whatever's happening.
Man, for sure.
And moving fast. So here we are again today on a Monday. Got some things to talk about today. Got some special guests coming in.
Yeah.
We have Miles Davis from Noise that's going to come on through this time around. So that's what's up. Also, Matt Hansen from Flatwater Free Press should be in as well. We're expecting him to come in as well. And yeah, we're pretty much chock full of guests this whole week, as a matter of fact. So we got Shar Shelton on Wednesday, and we got a couple other brothers on Friday. I'll just leave that until we get some confirmations back. But yes, it's going to be a good week for guests. This is kind of voting season right now too, so
Tis the season.
tis the season, man. I'd like to talk a little bit about what was going on over the weekend. There was the debates over at Culture House. So if you witnessed that, if you went to that or saw that online, let us know how that went. Love to hear it from you. Hear the report on that stuff. So lots of stuff went on this weekend. It'd be good to kind of recap and talk about those things and some more stories as well, buddy. What kind of things are we gonna be talking about today?
Man, actually, the debate, I kind of caught the tail end of that, so I did see a few of the chat chimers and a few of the Omaha First Sky fam in there. So yeah, definitely love to hear what you thought about that. And speaking of guests, we are working on getting Alicia and brother Tony on to do their thing.
Yep,
So
yep.
yeah, we'll definitely be looking into that. Also, speaking of the election, of course, we've been paying close attention to this gubernatorial race. And yeah, the whole controversy, if you will, the whole thing surrounding Charles Herbster,
Mm,
it continues. He's now suing State Senator Julie Slama based on her accusation. So we'll talk about that and where that whole saga is going. We'll also be diving into this is interesting. If you remember, not too long ago, Mayor Stothert hired Matt Coos as city attorney, and now that hiring
mm,
process is under investigation. Apparently, there's been some complaints made as far as why they hired or how they hired this
mm,
person. So yeah, we'll definitely be looking into that. And one phrase comes to mind: "Good old boy network." I don't know
mm.
if you heard of that, but yeah, we'll be talking about it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, yeah. Also, as Paul mentioned, we are expecting Miles Davis of Noise to come through, and they have a couple articles that we would love to dive into. Definitely looking at this new Omaha journalism project. Sort of
Yes.
similar if you're a lot of the OG listeners out there, if you remember our citizen journalism project that we were pushing. It's something similar, but I definitely would love to kind of hear from the horse's mouth, if you will, and dive into it with Miles. So we'll be looking at that. And then also they have this great coverage on, I believe, another opportunity for North Omaha. Google is investing in the Omaha area, and there will be a data center coming to North Omaha. So does that mean jobs? What does that mean? We'll definitely love to hear from the listeners on what you think that means for the future of North Omaha and building jobs and things like that in the area. So
Word.
definitely. And then also speaking of investment, we will be diving into the Bertha Callaway Foundation getting the Black Plains History Museum, which is a huge thing, man. We definitely got to continue to tell our story and honor our past, because again, if you don't pay attention to the past, not quite sure where you're gonna go in the future, man. So
It's true.
yeah, man. Yeah, man. We'll be
Yep,
talking
yep.
about all that and more as always. If there's anything on your hearts, your minds that you feel like we should be talking about and we're not, feel free to drop it in the chat. Let us know. We'll look into it, talk about it, all that. But it's about 15 minutes into the hour. So in the meantime, in between time, Paul B,
Yo,
let's go.
get it going. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Once again, you're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, Buddy the God, Star Trek, Rich in the house, and all of you, the chat chimers. Really appreciate everybody that's got up early and is joining us this morning. There are some people over on YouTube joining us this morning. I got wind from Pops last night that everybody doesn't see everybody's comments because of coming into different places. So I'll be sure to be reading off the ones from YouTube for everybody who's on Facebook. Who's chiming in the chat, and we often read off all the comments, as many comments as we can anyway. So we'll keep you in the loop there. Leah Keister in the chat over on YouTube says, "Thanks for putting on the event. Great meeting everyone." Yes, I totally agree, and thank you for coming. Thank you for thank everybody for coming. Really. Also, little ways down the way here, Ariel's 402 on YouTube says 108 subscribers, race to 1,000. That's what's up. So if you happen to be over there on YouTube, then like and subscribe so that we can raise our numbers over there on YouTube as well. If you're on Facebook, we made a change this morning. So we're not having any chat on the Friends of First Sky Omaha. You got to come over to the main page in order to chat if you're on Facebook. And that's where the main conversation is going on there. So if you're over here on Facebook, thank you very much. If you see people that are missing, let them know. Tell a friend. We're over here on the main page, First Sky Omaha on Facebook. That's where the chat is happening, and that's where everybody can see your chats as well. And if you're on Facebook, do us a favor and share the page as well. Share the show today so we can get a lot more people looking at it, checking it out, and all that good stuff. Yes, Miss Erica Felt, I'm absolutely there for the whiz as well. I cannot wait for this. I do not know why they have not done this anywhere else. But brainstorming between the House of Afro Capes and Curls and First Sky Omaha has bore this beautiful event that's going to come up here. We'll get you the date here pretty soon, but start getting your costumes ready now because it's going down at the Benson Theater. So more on that to come, more on a lot more events to come. And now that we know that y'all like coming out and checking it out, come on out. We'll do some more for sure. We'll do some more. So, yep. In the meantime, let's jump into some stories, buddy. What you got on the top of your brain this morning?
Well, we kick off actually talking about the Unicameral, who just wrapped up the session. Big shout out to the dynamic duo, as we like to call them around here. Batman and Robin, or Batman and Superman, if you will.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, right. Brother Terrell McKinney and brother Justin Wayne. getting a lot of bills done. But actually, there's an article in KMTV3 who was kind of characterizing this last session as one of the best sessions in state history. And we've talked about a lot of bills throughout this process, and I'm just kind of curious as to you know, everyone's thoughts, about this session, and definitely giving love to brothers Terrell McKinney and Justin Wayne, because they definitely had some big wins. Of course, we've been looking at LB 1024 securing the bag for North and South Omaha. Not quite getting what they asked for, but not it's pretty close, pretty close. I
Close,
believe
yeah.
375 million is
Yeah.
the total.
It's not bad.
Yeah. The majority of the money will go to North Omaha, according to the article, which Senator Terrell McKinney represents. McKinney actually says, "I'm never too high or too low a type of person. So when it passed, I was like, good, but we still have a bunch of work to do," which is definitely a good thing to hear. I mentioned it on Friday. I've talked to a lot of people in the community who are kind of echoing the same sentiment. They're happy and excited about this investment, but also a little wary about how it will be handled, who will be making the decisions, where it will be going. Just, there's still questions about what exactly is the plan. And it's not like all the money is going to kind of come in one lump sum. I do believe the senators or the legislation will have to sign off on a portion of the money, and it's going to kind of be delivered in a piecemeal type of fashion.
Mm.
But I actually wanted to run through a couple of the other bills that the dynamic duo were able to get passed and even get it across Governor Ricketts' desk. And yeah, we all know kind of challenges those present. But LB 917, LB 917, which provides an income tax credit for certain wages paid to individuals convicted of a felony. So again, income tax credit for certain wages, again, for individuals convicted of a felony. Also LB 998, which changes provisions to the Municipal Inland Port Authority Act. Not quite sure what that is. LB 1065, which changes provisions of the community development law relating to declarations of substandard and blighted areas and redevelopment plans are receiving an expedited review. Again, this is dealing directly with the TIF projects that we've been talking about throughout this year.
Mm.
So big shout out to Senator Justin Wayne for addressing that issue as far as how TIF projects are being handled. Again, Senator Wayne is a contractor himself. So definitely looking forward to kind of pushing that agenda and kind of getting some minority contractors, getting them some jobs and helping elevate this economic base.
Right.
And also, speaking of that, shout out to Senator Terrell McKinney for getting his Business Assistance Act passed, LB 1112, which is to adopt the Computer Science and Technology Education Act and provide and change graduation requirements and academic content standards. So again,
Mm.
keeping the education, keeping the curriculum up to date with the technology, and making sure, especially those in North and South Omaha, don't get left behind with the technology. Because again, you think about it, OPS just got tablets and things like that, while schools like District 66, they've been handing out iPads and computers for decades now. So gotta level the playing field. Gotta level the playing field.
Back when the
That's
Apple computers was a bunch of different colors.
yeah, man. Yeah. So again, shout out to the dynamic duo. I kind of would agree with the KMTV characterization. Again, one of the best sessions in state history. I do feel like this is a product of the activism from 2020, and kind of, as I mentioned when we spoke to Jakeem Fox on Friday, not being a victim or captive of the moment, and allowing this to build momentum and actually be a movement and not a moment.
Like that. Yeah, congratulations to the brothers. We'll definitely have them on. They're definitely celebrating these wins, and so it's a good time to have them on now that the session is over. And yeah, pretty interesting, man. It was pretty interesting to me that even Pete Ricketts said it was a good session. I was like, I guess some things can't be denied by anybody. So that's what's up.
Yeah, it's a good session when you finish it off and then you go chill with Snoop Dogg.
Come on, man. You crip walk, see walking, so you can get the celebration started with all that.
Man,
So that's what's
celebration.
up.
Yeah, so big
Yeah.
shout out, not just the dynamic duo, but all the senators in there putting in the work for the people
Yep.
and actually doing their jobs and representing the people. Man, it's just a beautiful thing to see, and hopefully we will keep that going, man. Let's gear up for this election and get some more competent public servants in seat.
There you go. Got a good morning from Ty Williams with some sunshine. Appreciate you. Appreciate you very much. Brother Muhammad says he's doing double duty. He's over on YouTube and Facebook. That's what's happening. Brother Muhammad says leveling the playing field will allow new talent to enter the game. 10K AMA. That's what's up. So yeah, that's what's going down. Yeah, I think this is some good, good news. More stuff that we can totally like celebrate and we'll talk to the brothers and see how much trouble it was for them to do what they did. I know that it was a hard fight, so let's definitely check that out. Looks like we got Tony Vargas in the house. Good morning to all. Good morning to you all too. What's happening, brother Vargas? That's what's going on, brother Vargas for Congress.
Yeah, well, while we got you in the chat, any bills that you got passed that you're proud of, or what? How would you characterize this past session? Again, KMTV3 says it was one for the ages, one of the best sessions in history. Do you agree, Senator Vargas? What do you think?
Yeah, some good questions. For everybody that doesn't know, Tony Vargas is a senator and he's running for Congress. He says he's here listening in. That's what's going on, man. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you very much. We'll have to have you on the show and talk a little bit more as well. So, and remember, this is the season. So we gotta meet these folks and get to know them and know where they stand, so we can make some choices here. As far as we're concerned, friends of First Sky Omaha, Tony Vargas is definitely a friend of First Sky Omaha. And so
Yep.
is Alicia Shelton, both running. And I love to talk about what happened with the debate the other night as well too. So, Brother Vargas, if you want to let us know how the debate went as well, in your opinion, over there at the Culture House Saturday, and I'd love to hear that. So he says he passed a lot of affordable housing investments.
Okay.
That's what's up. Lots of success and lots of things left to do. He says, and workforce development. So, yeah, very, very important subjects there that we are constantly talking about, constantly trying to find solutions to. So, yeah, let's dig into those bills that got passed. We'll definitely check it out. Love to hear affordable housing. Personally, I'm just
Man.
like, okay, let me find out what was going on with that bill. Let me see what that means for us now, because that sounds great. He says, and also worked on the 300 plus million to South and North Omaha investment too. So
Yep. Yep.
he's part of that with Brother Terrell McKinney and Senator Justin Wayne. That's what's up.
Yeah, man. That's definitely a big victory.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And definitely, I'm happy that I'm also seeing that they're acknowledging that there's more work to do, and again, not
Yeah.
being a victim of the moment. So yeah, let's keep working. Let's keep working.
I love it. I love it. Coming up on 7:30 right now, we'll take a quick break and come right back. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, Buddy the God, Star Trek Rich, all of you. We'll come right back. Stay tuned. Once again, we got Brother Vargas in the chat. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, Buddy the God, Star Trek Rich. Tonight, Patterson gives us a good morning. Terry Crawford in the house says, good morning, First Sky fam. Was great to see y'all this weekend around town and at the Shelton versus Vargas debate. Job well done. There you go.
Yep.
Brother Vargas says, great debate. I appreciated the time with Culture House and Marcy too. Man, it's a good fam that we got going on here, man. It's all in the fam. Love it, love it. Mr. Erkenfeld says, I would love to have the opportunity to have in-home childcare business owners speak with you, Mr. Vargas, not through the nonprofits that benefit from us.
Man.
There you go.
Man.
Yeah, he's a brother. From what we know about Brother Vargas, he's all about the family for sure. I'm sure that that will happen He said, "I'm happy to. That's what's up."
Actually, reminds me of a conversation Paul and I had with a community member on Friday, who was kind of concerned about the state of in-home child care centers and just kind of the smaller child care facilities in the community. She had mentioned that, I haven't quite checked into it, and if anyone has any more information on this, I would definitely love to hear if you can corroborate or, what your thoughts on it. But she had mentioned that something around 40 or 46 different child care centers have closed recently, as a result of one thing or another. So
Right.
I'm kind of curious to see, is that really what the state of in-home child care, is that what the industry is looking like in Omaha? Because Miss Erica Feld has been ringing that bell adamantly. So yeah, I would definitely love to hear more on exactly what that situation is looking like.
Yeah, that's what's up. I'd love to hear what comes out of that conversation as well. What Brother Vargas has to offer here as well. So that'd be great. Katie L in the chat says, "Good morning. Wonderful to see both of you Friday and Saturday. And appreciate you coming out and meeting you in person as well." Miss
Yes,
Erica
sir.
Fell says, "I already know who you're speaking of, and there's some truth to what she's saying."
Mm,
Yeah,
okay.
well,
Okay.
I wouldn't doubting it. I
Right,
wouldn't
right.
doubting it. Yeah, we just want to, we want to make sure that we get all the facts and everything behind what people are saying too. She's very, very, very passionate about it,
Yeah.
and had our eyebrows like, wow, okay, knows that I knew it was something was going on, but I didn't know it was that deep.
Right.
So, yeah, we'll have to do some more digging and find out some more information on all that.
For sure.
And this is one of the things we've been talking about this a while anyway. Child care and especially young child care, for the youth, really young kids, early child care is what I'm trying to say. That's been a topic for a long time. Thanks, due to people like Miss Erica Felt and others in the
Hmm.
chat. And it seems to be something that we need to have more conversation about. Maybe get some kind of roundtable together with with like Brother Vargas or somebody else, where we can kind of sit around and kind of break down a lot of the stuff that's going on, and even hear from some of the people that we're feeling like is taken away from the mom and pop, child care facilities.
Yeah, man.
Some of these big facilities that are being built around our neighborhoods that are, they kind of, it seems like they kind of fighting. They kind of don't want there to be pop, like mom and pop shops or just smaller shops or when they want to treat them like babysitters instead of like actual child care people who actually have education in mind with their child care and everything else. So a lot to talk about with it. I think that I feel like we don't get to it all the way on this show, and we should do some kind of roundtable or something on the subject.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't quite know or understand the situation till I experienced it firsthand, and I'll be honest, I kind of took it for granted because when I lived here, I had grandmas and we had the kids went to daycare at their auntie's house, so we had family that was
Mhm.
able to kind of take care of the kids and allow us to work and do other things. But luckily, I'm able to do First Sky Omaha from home and DJ and do some other things. But if I had to work a traditional 9 to 5. I would be stuck because my wife works and I'm at home with the kids. And there's no, like, in the area that I live in Atlanta, there are no mom and pop type places or,
Mm.
it's all like franchise. Like, there are multiple location franchise learning centers. And they're all like cracking heads, man. They're taxing. They're taxing. I'm talking about $3,000, a month for the kids. And I have two who are not school age. So I would have to pay that money, at least, $2,000 a month if we were going to put, at least my son in school. So,
Wow, man.
and I think about it all the time, man. Like, if I really had to get a job, I'll kind of like a, traditional 9 to 5, I'll be stuck. I'll be stuck
That's
for sure.
crazy, man. I mean, like you said, if it costs $3,000 a month to just have the kids watch while you go to work, you spending everything you making and then some on the child care. Like it don't make no sense to even go.
Man, it doesn't. It doesn't. I might as well just stay home. If I got to get a
uh,
job to pay for daycare.
that's crazy, man. Ms. Erica says there's a connection between NDE, a few nonprofits, and this universally preschool buzzword.
Hmm.
Brother Muhammad says industrialized daycare eating up family-based childcare. That's the phrase right there. That's what
Yeah,
I'm
man.
talking about. Also, Mr. Rockefeller says Tony Vargas for Congress. I have before through Nebraska provider spot. Oh, they're having a conversation there. She says 64% of Nebraska children were served by in-home child care businesses in 2019. The majority are in lower income and in marginalized communities. We put our money back in our own communities. Shut us down, and that money disappears.
Mm.
Wow. Linda Lathan in the house, good morning, says those giant places only care about numbers and see your kiddos as dollars. Little places with lower child to teacher ratios is where your child will flourish as they get the one on one attention they deserve.
Yep.
No more franchises. Okay, there you go.
Yeah,
So
man.
also, she says, Ms. Rockefeller says the common answer that will still be able to care for infants. Nope, I haven't enrolled infants in a decade. I care for and teach children 2 to 6 years old, so they're ready for the next step of development, kindergarten.
Hmm.
And we also talked to Miss Erica Felt before and know that she is one of those ones that provides some education for the kids, not just watching them, not just babysitting, but at providing education, and getting them ready for kindergarten, as she's saying. So yeah, there's a lot of misconceptions about what's going on with early child care, and a lot of stuff sounds like it's just falling under the radar, slipping under the radar here
Yeah.
in North and South Omaha for sure. So, well, yeah, my eyes were open with that conversation. She was very passionate about what was going on here, and felt like she has a daycare center that she couldn't get any kids in. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
with this need, that's crazy. That's crazy that she wouldn't be able to with how many people need childcare.
Right. I mean, if you work and you have children, then you need some form of childcare. That's just about everybody. So
Yeah,
yeah,
everybody.
yeah, definitely got to get to the bottom of this. So big shout out, Miss Erica Fell, for bringing that to our attention, and
Yeah,
shout out to everybody who added to the conversation.
for sure, man. And Brother Vargas, we would love to have you on here soon too. We know
Yeah,
the race is heating
spoke to
up.
him on Saturday, so yeah, we'll be having him on very soon. Very soon.
Very cool. Very cool. Sarah Fell says most of us nurture their social, emotional, and physical development. We don't feed red drink and TV to them.
Mm.
You don't get no red number five, beautiful sweet Kool Aid at your your spot. Brother Muhammad says they invest in building it, then they charge these fees to pay for it, recycling spent dollars from the build.
Mm.
That's crazy. Yeah, TIF dollars and all kinds of stuff to build certain things and taxpayer money and then charge you. So, yep, man, it's a deep subject for sure. We'll continue on with this subject. We always do. It's one of our evergreen subjects that we come back to a lot. Thanks to you, the chat chimers, the people in the chat who are in the industry that we getting all
Yeah.
the inside information from. So that's what's up.
Yes, yes. So again, keep chiming into the chat. Keep letting your mind be free and your voice be heard. And we're here on First Sky Omaha, live from Weber Rice Studios. I don't know, Paul, you want to jump to a break and keep rolling?
Let's keep rolling. It's 7:38 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, we are expecting a special guest to come in pretty soon. So we're gonna go ahead and jump to the next story and keep it rolling. And then stay tuned for that. Stick around.
Yeah,
Got
man.
Miles Davis from Noise coming through.
Well, I wanted to continue a conversation about investment,
Mm-hmm.
especially in North Omaha. I don't know if you heard of the development going on at the Great Plains Black History Museum, but
Mm-hmm.
recently, Great Plains Black History Museum, who owns the Webster Telephone Exchange building, located right off of um, Lake.
Yeah, it's right off a lake. Mm-hmm.
Yep, right off of the Deuce, as we like to call it around here. That building has been donated to the Bertha W. Calloway Foundation. Bertha Calloway is actually the founder of the Great Plains Black History Museum and the Negro History Society. And she won awards from several organizations for her activism in the community and throughout Nebraska. And the Bertha Calloway Foundation is specifically created to restore that building. So that building has been in disrepair for as long as I can remember, and I would definitely love to see that kind of come together. Big shout out to everyone who's behind the Great Plains Black History Museum, the board of directors, and also the Bertha Calloway Foundation. Definitely excited to see what they do with that, and It's important, man. We got to tell our story. We have to be able to kind of control our own narrative and tell our own story. And we already talking about gentrification and what exactly North Omaha will look like in the next 20 years, and having something like the Great Plains Black History Museum back in the Webster Telephone Exchange building, and having that building updated will be a beautiful thing.
That
And
would
I
be
know
dope.
Paul, if I'm not mistaken, that was right next to the ballroom.
Right next to the Allen Showcase. So there was two little houses that separated Allen Showcase and the Great Plains Black History Museum, that telephone exchange. They knocked those the houses down because they were planning on building some stuff there with the union and a couple other developers there. So I don't know what that plan is. I don't know if that plan is going to happen. But in that, when they were talking about those plans early on, they were talking about knocking that building down because of it being so dilapidated. But I'm glad to hear that they're going to save it, and I'm glad to hear that the museum can go back in it. It's a
Yeah,
great
man.
building. It's a jewel of the neighborhood, jewel of the Deuce, one of them. And it's just it's good news. It's good news. I'm glad to hear that. I didn't know that the Great Plains Black History Museum owned that building.
Man, and that's good news too.
Yeah. So, and it sounds like the Bertha Callaway Foundation is there strictly to revitalize that building and get it back going again. So I hope maybe some of those dollars that is coming from ARPA will help some of that revitalization. That'd be great. I'd love to see that happen.
Man, and I want to juxtapose this story with the OIC conversation that we had,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of looking at like who owns that land. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And what happens when the community has some ownership, and kind of again we're able to tell our own story and just do for self, man. Do for self. I know brother Melvin Muhammad. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. So yeah, man, it's a beautiful thing. I did want to dive into a quick comment from Pastor P, as we like to call her, Reverend Portia Cabot, who I didn't know was a part of the Great Plains Black History Museum board. But
Mm.
she said, we felt that it was a good to give it to a nonprofit, and the Bertha Callaway Foundation was the number one nonprofit we thought to give it to in her honor, to her foundation, so that we can do what they like with the building, which is something we would love to have seen happen similarly with the Love's Jazz Center, but we all know how that situation ended up. So I just want to put this into context, man. It's not a
Yeah.
small thing, man. It's a beautiful thing to see the community have some ownership and be able to tell our own story.
Yep. In the chat, Vince Furlong over there on YouTube is saying, is asking, is there a goal for GPBHM building, Great Plains Black History Museum? Yes, there is. The goal is to sounds like it's to revitalize the museum back in the original building that it was in.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah. So this is a good move towards that, and we're really happy to hear that. And it sounds like it's the right hands. It's going to be in the right hands to make it happen too. So
Yeah, I
that's what's
mean,
up.
back in the foundation that honors the original founder, and again, the foundation was created solely to renovate that building. So that's their only goal, and I support it all the way.
Yeah. Anybody in the chat that's associated with the block there with the Deuce, 24th and Lake, Manny About Town, perhaps the developers, Juanita Johnson, who's developing right across the street from there. Any thoughts about people who are actually doing things? Also, Brigitte over at the Union for Contemporary Art. Anybody on the block there will be directly affected by the revitalization of this building? I'd love to hear from you. Love to hear what your thoughts are about it, how it fits in the overall plan of the area, and so on and so forth. But sounds like a positive thing to me. Love some more
Yeah.
feedback though.
And definitely you put in the context of all of these tourist attractions and all the efforts that the city is trying to make, man. Maybe North Omaha can get a piece of that. Have some people come to the Black Plains Black History Museum, and maybe hop on the Preston Love Jr. tour or something like that. You know what
Yes.
I mean? Like kind of have that be the hub of us to really tell our story. So.
I remember I was around back when that they were emptying that building out. I had some friends that
Hmm.
worked at the library, and they were pulling out archives and archives and archives of stuff and setting it up at the main library downtown, and to try to preserve that stuff. It was up on the
Hmm.
third floor of the library. I remember, going and helping sift through some of that stuff. But it was a treasure trove of just history, that came out of there. There was just so much stuff, and so much stuff got damaged too, unfortunately. Because there was a lot of water damage and stuff going on in there. They show pictures of the building now with holes in the roof, so it's raining all inside the building and all kinds of stuff. So they got a lot of work to do on revitalizing this. But look, bro, they asking, some people in the city is asking for $600 million to build a lake, so they can
Man,
break off a few million to get that building together. So
yeah,
yeah, I'm anxious to see that and to rebuild those archives and everything in that spot to actually have a black museum in Nebraska. Big deal.
yeah, man, not a
Yeah.
small thing. And actually, you kind of are brought up a segue into the next article talking about the archives because
Mm.
if I'm not mistaken, you said the downtown library, right? That's the one that has the Omaha Star archives.
Right.
Yeah, and again, there we'll dive into it here next. But there's some concern about archives and about things that will be held at the new downtown library and the location that it's in,
Mm.
because it's supposedly going to be. And again, they're moving the downtown library, and the new location is in a more an area more susceptible to flooding. And we'll get into the
Wow.
climate plan of the city. And I'm just wondering if they keep the Omaha Star archives and other archives at that new museum or new library, what's the chances of it getting flooded out? And
Mm.
more of our history being lost. So I would
Yeah.
definitely love to see, those archives move to Great Plains Black History Museum in the new building or something like that.
That's
That'd be
what's up.
beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
man. We lost a lot already, so it's scary to think of losing some more.
yeah, man, again, it's our history. If you don't know your history, you don't know your future, man.
So true. Once again, you're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, Buddy to God, Star Trek Rich, Buddy to God, got that Coke and a smile for you this
Hey.
morning. Yeah, we'll take a quick break. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, and all of you, the chat chimers, thank you so much for chiming in this morning, getting up early with us. Well, again, it was so good seeing everybody the other day. It's kind of unbelievable. Like, it really made it real. What's going on here? All this virtual that we doing. It's a trip, but
Yeah, man.
yeah, it was good times. It was much needed event. So thanks all for coming to that, and we'll do it again soon. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. We got special guests coming up. Don't you touch nothing. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Good morning, good morning, good morning. First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul B,
In the
Buddy the
morning.
God, Star Trek Rich. Hey, hey, hey. Buddy is still in the house. Buddy is still in Omaha, Nebraska. If y'all don't see broadcasting live out of Weberized Studios with me this morning, so that's what's up. And man, it's good to see you, bro. I can't believe you've been gone almost a year still. It's still blowing my
Man,
mind.
time
Still blowing my
flies.
mind.
Time flies, man.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's real crazy. For those of you who don't know, Buddy was here and then he moved to Atlanta. We've been doing the show from the Atlanta studio and remotely so that we can kind of make this connection. How you feeling about that, by the way? How you feeling about the Atlanta Omaha connections being made right now?
Is that you asking me?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh man, I mean, it's all kinds of connections. It's all kinds of connections, and excuse me. That's kind of my main goal is to build that bridge and to build that bridge and strengthen connections between Omaha and Atlanta. There's already a lot of Omaha people that live in Atlanta.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, you was telling me about DJ Votto. Shout out to him.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. I have a couple peers that I went to school with that actually went down there and went to Morehouse down there and just kind of stayed. So yeah, shout out to them.
Wow, that's what's
No,
up.
but I mean, in many aspects, man, from the art community, I'm trying to get a lot of the musicians here to just kind of experience the industry in
Yeah,
Atlanta, man, and see what it's like when a city really has and supports an actual industry. I don't think Omaha really has that, and and I'm talking about this buy-in from the mayor, from state legislators, as far as what the music industry means to Atlanta.
yeah,
So definitely would love to have artists kind of experience that. But beyond that, just the information ecosystem that we're building here, there's a lot of similarities and connections to Atlanta. There's a few quote unquote alternative outlets that are doing similar things to what our partners like the Reader, Noise, Flatwater Free Press, what they're doing. So I'm definitely eager about building those kind of connections. And then, of course, from a political standpoint, we've talked about the city planning things, and there's a lot of, and we'll kind of get into that a little later on. But there's a lot of pages that Omaha has taken out of Atlanta's city planning, book that I'm curious to looking into more as well.
there you go. Yeah, speaking of these connections and the news connections, especially, the good work that's being done here is being done by a lot of our partners. One of which is noise, the
Hey,
Good
noise
morning.
situation. Good morning, Mr. Davis. How are you this morning?
I'm good. How are you?
Very
doing
good, very
fine,
good. You
doing
coming
fine.
in? You coming in loud and clear. That's what's up. Good morning to
Great.
you.
Great.
Yeah, got the sun popping on the skin,
Yeah,
melanin
I get a little
popping.
natural light.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 Let it
Little
in, let
setup.
it in, let
There
it
you
in.
go.
So how's it going? I think the last time we spoke, you were preparing for your building opening, preparing for the grand opening.
Yeah. So we just had a soft opening for our community journalism lab, and so we are starting the community Omaha Journalism Project. And so our goal is to educate community journalists in Omaha. And so that we can create this again or continue to reinforce this information ecosystem that you were talking about. And so, yeah, we just had a soft opening. We plan on having our grand opening first week of June. We'll drop dates this week. Yeah, we're excited about that.
Man,
That's
and
what's up.
if I'm not mistaken, this is in partnership with the AIM Institute. What's kind of their role in this?
Yeah, exactly. So AIM Institute are great supporters of noise. And so we did a partnership with them. We renovated the space at 1911 Harney Street. And so they donated that space to us for 2 years. And so we're able to utilize that space with low overhead and be able to really dedicate it to this community journalism project. And so they donated that space to us for 2 years. And they're also going to um, be sponsoring some of our computers as well. And also going to be hosting some technology training out of the space. And we wanted to make sure we put out in the forefront how important it is that community journalists are trained in technology, web development, social
Hmm.
media marketing, email marketing. Those are such important tools when it comes to disseminating information and creating that information ecosystem. And so we're going to incorporate those elements in our training as well.
Man, man,
Yeah,
that's some.
we're all about that side of things. Making sure that the technology part. Buddy was telling me when he got out when he was in school for journalism. They really pushed this whole one man band situation. So you
Yeah,
got to
man.
know the camera, the mic. You got to know your own promotion. You got to know a whole lot of stuff. So. I think that's really kind of direction that it has to go, and so and that's something that everybody can do. So that's why we're on that whole citizen journalism tip and helping to try to build some journalism the passion for journalism with people love to see love to the confirmation that we're all on the same page with
Mhm.
that idea because we just simply don't have enough journalists out here, especially not journalists of color.
Mm-mm. Well, it's
So
Exactly.
kind of interesting, man. Paul, you're the one who kind of racked my brain on the concept of like a citizen journalist or a community journalist, and just the fact that everyone has a voice, and if it's done with integrity and you're going about getting the correct information, um, you know, everybody can be empowered, and especially with this wave of people with the phones and people recording on scene and things like that. If they're given the tools to kind of take that to the next level, then things can definitely change, and a lot more people can be empowered on a
Mhm.
higher level. Is that kind of the concept of what you're doing with this project, or
Yeah,
the vision?
exactly. Yeah, exactly. We want to be able to give the power back to the people and make sure that we're equipping the community with the tools in order to tell their own stories.
Hmm.
That's so important. I think that their perspective is lost when the community doesn't have the skills nor the tools to effectively tell their stories and express themselves. And so we definitely want to make sure that we're providing these tools and these classes to the community, low to free cost for the classes. We'll have a sliding scale, so it'll be available for everyone. Anyone who's interested will be able to join these courses and take advantage of what we have to offer.
Would love
Man,
that.
man.
Looks like we have Alicia Shelton in the chat this morning. Good
Hey.
morning to you. She said Shelton for OPS. I'm sorry, yeah, Shelton for OPS School Board. She says, and journalists covering issues that are affecting Black and Brown communities. Appreciate all that you do, Noise and Miles.
Yeah, man.
We do too.
Thank
We
you.
very much appreciate. As a matter of fact, um, I'm very excited about some of the things that you guys are putting out. Some of the articles that you're doing, some of the artwork
Yes.
for those articles. It really feels like you guys have gotten to stepped up to the next level with how it is that you even are presenting the news and the ideas and things that you're covering. How did you guys come to How did you guys come to that? How did you guys put that together to where how what's your process for deciding which stories to really focus on and put that kind of effort behind.
Yeah, we try to make sure that we're involved in the community as much as possible. Just talking to people, friends, family, just making sure that we have a listening ear out. So that's kind of how we get our story ideas. We get a lot of pitches from community journalists. We follow a lot of the things that are happening in North Omaha, and so we really are just listening, and we're putting out what we feel and what we have been requested to put out. And so that's really how we go about the process of picking things. Kitchen Cycle, she's amazing.
Yeah.
She's our interim managing editor. And we say interim because the goal is to have someone from North Omaha. And so if anyone is interested in becoming our managing editor, reach
Hmm.
out to us for sure. Yeah, so we just keep a listening ear, and that's kind of how we pick. And I have a digital marketing background. I'm a web developer, and so I do social media marketing and social media marketing training. And so we really have incorporated that skill set into the way that we produce our articles and produce the content that we put out. And so that's also another reason why we will be offering social media marketing training, graphic design training, photo editing, video editing training in this community journalism project, because it's so important to have all of those elements in order for the story to be widely accepted, widely read, or people to be palatable. So we want to make sure that we're giving people what they want, whether that just be the information they need, but also visually what they want,
Hmm.
and so that it's appealing to the eye and appealing to the palate. And so we want to make sure that we are sharing information, but not just in a boring, stale kind of way. We're making sure that it's exciting for people to be able to take part in this information.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
really love how you guys use the power of art to draw people to things for sure, and also the people that you have backing, putting things together. A lot of the stuff that Leo Adam Bigga is doing is really great with the legacy families and so on.
Hmm.
And Keetran Zyko is a powerhouse. We all know her from the covers that she's been doing over the years with Brother Ed Poindexter and the situation there. She's been covering that stuff for a long time and is a great journalist. And she trips me out too, man. She came to the Benson Theater to see Choir Boy, and She is just asking anybody, like, do you have any interest in being a journalist at all? Do you write at all? You can half write, and I'll edit. Like if you're interested, come on through. She was asking everybody, and I was like, she's on a real mission. So that's what's up.
Come to death row.
Yeah, and I think that's part of it too. And we want to make sure that we're training community journalists, but we also are here to be a support for journalists as well. And so, if you feel like your writing skills aren't up to par, or you feel like I can't really tell my story, we have the resources and the support in order to help you get there. And so, we want to make sure that we're opening our arms to the community and saying, hey, you can no matter what your level of writing skills, you can come to us and we can help you to tell your story, because we think it's important that those stories come from you. So definitely our goal, Kitchen does an amazing job at recruiting community journalists. It's amazing. She doesn't get paid to recruit, so thank you so much, Kitchen, for that. It's an amazing partnership that we've created, and even with Flatwater and with you First Sky, the content that we've been able to produce is amazing, and I think that we want to do more, and so I'm glad to be here today.
Man, definitely.
Glad to have you, man. We were waiting to get to round out the team here and everybody that's representing on these Mondays. So, unfortunately, we don't have anybody from the Reader today, but we will have Matt Hansen on from Flatwater Free Press a little later on. But for those of you that are just joining us, we're going to have the family from Noise on regularly on Mondays as well now. Because those are the people that we're grabbing, we're getting stories from, we're trying to push stories to. We're all in great conversation and all of like mind about what it is that we need to be talking about. Earlier, I made the mistake of saying Alicia Shelton. It's actually Shar Shelton for OPS School Board. Shar Shelton, and I'm going to reiterate what she had to say. Journalists covering issues that are affecting Black and Brown communities. Who's really doing that besides us, besides this family of people that we're putting together to really kind of represent that thing. We were talking about the other day about knowing where our place was in this for Sky Omaha, is really kind of trying to hold these conversations on a regular basis. And we know that that's the value that we hope to bring to the Reader, Noise, Flatwater, and in turn, these deep dive things that you guys do, we'll be on here and we'll talk about it and scratch the surface on it and then say, hey, go to Noise and check out the deeper article. Right. So the natural places where everybody is falling and sitting and the synergy that's going on here, I think is really, really great.
Yeah, I think that it's what Buddy was saying earlier. I think that it's important that we create this information ecosystem, and a lot of people don't know what that means. And it's a lot of what we're doing right now. And so First Sky, the Reader, Flatwater, Noise, all being able to collaborate and share resources and share stories. That's important that we create that, because everyone's not going to get there. No matter what we try, no matter if we become the greatest news source ever out of Omaha, everyone's not going to get their news from us, and everybody's not going to be able to receive information the same way. And so being able to have conversations like this and being able to post on Flatwater or create podcasts or videos or send out text messages, there's so many different methods of how we're getting information out. And so when we're able to collaborate and do this together, it makes it a lot more feasible for us to accomplish and a lot more effective for us to be able to share information with our community. So it's great to be able to do this. I think it's a great model for business everywhere, that there should be an ecosystem and a sort of synergy and collaboration. And so I love that. I love everything that we're creating together.
Teamwork makes the dream work, man. And I also want to put out that it's not only just the ecosystem locally and across Nebraska, but all of these outlets are reaching national, like getting national attention, man. Noises reach national attention. Of course, Flatwater Free Press, Matt Wynn, is with USA Today. A lot of heavy hitters in this ecosystem. So it's not anything to be taken lightly, and we're also part of telling the nation about what's going on in Omaha and sort of bringing national ideas back to the state and the city as well. And I wanted to put a bug in your ear, Miles, about an outlet that I found in Atlanta that recently was awarded the Documenters program, which I know something that Noise was looking into a while But their ecosystem of community journalists and kind of the direction that Noise is going, I think that's something you might want to look into. It's called Canopy Atlanta is the name of the outlet. Canopy
Canopy
Atlanta.
Atlanta. You
Yeah,
should send me an email. That'd be great.
I will. I will. I
Oh,
will.
perfect. I would love that.
Definitely check them out. And yeah, that's what it's about, man. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Let me know. It's about 8:05 right now. If you're just joining us again, we're with Miles Davis from Noise, North Omaha Information Support. Everyone, I know you guys have seen it. You know all about it. This crew has been digging into it, and also please subscribe and join Noise, the Noise team over there too as well. We're all, you know, what we're doing here. We're all existing because of you and your dollars and your time and your in your interests. So yeah, definitely go check that out. Brooke is in the chat, says I love it. Brooke, I was thinking about you in particular because I don't know if you've been keeping up with what's going on with Noise, but check out their artwork. Brooke is an artist and is going to school to be an art teacher, and so and every time I look at what you guys are producing over there, I'm like, man, she'll love that. So definitely check them out. It's really interesting how they're using art to really kind of bring the news to the focus, and it's not just topic stuff, it's deep dive stuff. That's what it's all about. It's the deep dive that is really needed here on topics that you decide need to be talked about instead of what's ever on top of news or whatever everybody else is talking about or whatever. We're generating our own ideas of the kind of news that we need to be talking about based on you guys, based on everybody who is listening and talking and discussing, and like Miles said, family and so on and so forth. So definitely something to keep your eye on. If you're not a part of the Noise family yet, become one, please. That would be great.
Yeah,
hey, Poverty. Hey, Auntie. How you doing, Gail? Also, Shar Shelton says that, and producing not in a negative connotation, they produce in-depth inspirational stories that focus on happenings, events, and legacy. That's what's hashtag Team Noise. Check out this feature of Black Women Business series written by Leo Adam Biga. She put a link in there, some really good deep dive stuff on that stuff, man. So before we let you get out of here, though, just want to ask you, what is it that you're excited about that's coming up that Noise is doing, or not do, or somebody else is doing? But what are you excited about right now?
Well, I'm really excited. My uncle is going to be honored. Rudy Smith. He's going to be honored. They're changing Lake Street. Portion of Lake Street, renaming it after him. So I'm excited about that. We will do some coverage of that. Speaking of legacy, he has an amazing legacy. So we will do some coverage of that. We will do a story about his impact on Omaha. And so and Leo Adam Biga has done previous stories as well. We want to make sure that again we're adding some audio, video elements to that. And so we will. I'm excited about that. So
I love it, man. That's awesome. That's awesome. You just got my wheels turning about that. I have a great uncle that got a street named after him as well in North Omaha, and then that threw me over to Terrace Bud Crawford getting his street named, and so I'm like, the impact of street namings in North Omaha, it might be something we need to really kind of look into, and that's can be a series of what have they done? What were the impact in Omaha? Very interesting stuff, man. Yeah, look, coming up with ideas together right now.
This is how it works. Yeah, let's talk about that.
Love it.
We would love to have First Sky in our podcast studio as well. So the new space is going to have a podcast recording studio. We'll do some audio training as well. And so we would love to have First Sky in there, and we'll get in there to make it happen.
Man, you already know. We're there, brother. Anything you need. Well, thanks for joining us again. Once again, Miles Davis from Noise, North Omaha Information Support. Everyone, tell a friend. Hit their. We'll put you guys in the chat too, so we can link to your website there, and donate. Donate to this fam that's putting these deep dives together and really kind of making what's going on in North and South Omaha and Omaha in as a whole. Something to the forefront, pushing it to the forefront, pushing ideas and stories and uncovering things and really making that happen and doing the good work for it. So Noise has been pushing the path forward for everybody. Like when, as a matter of fact, like we all are able to go get our press passes now because of what Noise has done. Noise has has fought the good fight for all of us quote unquote alternative news groups to be able to do something and be in the spaces where they don't want us to be sometimes. Yeah, we can be there and we can talk, we can tell some truth. So appreciate you coming on, man. Come back
Yeah,
anytime and any Monday and send somebody else. We love to hear from Noise on a regular basis on Monday from now on.
yeah, for sure. We'll be here.
Beautiful. Thanks a lot, brother. Have a good day.
All right. Thank you so much.
Peace.
Peace. There it is, Miles Davis, my man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so happy to hear from them, man. It was a long time coming. We were really trying to get all the groups represented and Noise especially. So very, very glad to hear from him. Let's take a quick break. Yes, Gail said really innovative idea. Yeah, I believe so
Yeah,
too.
man.
We've got a lot of good ideas going on here. Kimmer Snipes says there's a portion of South 39th named after LaFern Williams. Yep, I'm dropping South O into this. Please do.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I want to know all the streets that are dedicated to black folks. We went to the street naming of News One.
Oh, Kathy Hughes.
Kathy Hughes, yeah, just recently too. So there's a lot of them out here, and a lot of stories can be told from that. So yeah, we'll talk about it. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, Buddy the God, Star Trek Rich. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Yes, you're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, Buddy the God. And by the way, Buddy the God is still in Omaha, Nebraska right now, y'all.
Hey.
You taking off today though, right?
Yeah, we'll fly out. Fly out tonight.
Okay. Yeah, man. Well, it was a good trip, man. I'm glad we got to hang a little bit and all that. And did you get in everything that you had planned on doing? Because it was a lot.
Yeah, actually, I got in a lot. So big shout out to all the homies and everybody that I was able to see. Yeah, man, a very successful trip. Definitely glad that I got got a chance to kick it with the chat chimers, man. Definitely big shout out to everybody that came out to the chat chimers kick back. And again, for those of you who weren't able to make it, I'll be back in September, man. So yeah, let's do the thing.
There you go. That's what's up. Cameron Snipes says that Leah Keister says, great to hear from Noise. They're doing some incredible work. Thank you for getting Miles on. Yeah, man. Yeah, we've been wanting to really connect with them, and now that they got a little bit of other stuff going on. Well, they brought in some other folks. You know, they got some other people helping over there now. So I hooked up with Keitron Zeichel, and we were saying, yeah, let's talk about this. Yeah. Also, shout out to Emily Chin Newton, who helped try to get this together as well, and we stay in contact with her too, man. She's powerhouse over there too. So lots of good players over there at Noise, and holding on to it, doing the work, and pushing through all the challenge and the pitfalls of what we do, because we all are struggling for keeping it afloat and everything else, just like everybody else is. So that's what's up. Junior Ignacio, Brother Sanchez, Mayor Sanchez is dropping some names of streets, people who got streets named after them in South Omaha, and that's what's up. Ed Babe Gomez Avenue in school. That's what's up. Also Miguel Keith Memorial at the Kroc Center. Okay, so Yeah, man. Yeah, we got a lot of people we can look into their stories. I always wonder that. I drive down the street, see a name, like, well, I wonder who that is,
Mhm.
what they did, you know. So Kimber Snipe says it was great seeing y'all Friday. It was great seeing you too.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. So much fun. So much good stuff. It's 8:15 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, thanks for joining us. You're in the second hour of First Sky Omaha in the morning. And we still got some more things to talk about and another special guest that's coming in. Matt Hansen for Flatwater Free Press is coming through. So stay tuned for him. And we also have the HAPS that's happening a little later on this afternoon as well, or this morning as well. So
Mhm.
in the meantime, in the between time, buddy, what's on your mind?
I actually wanted to dive into this article from Noise, continuing kind of our conversation about investment, and the potential of more economic development and jobs coming to North Omaha specifically. This coming out of Noise again, and the announcement that Google is making a substantial investment in Nebraska to the tune of $750 million
Mm,
expected to come in, and a portion of that will go towards a North Omaha a data center. Omaha Mayor Gene Stalter and Papillion Mayor David Black were also among officials who were invited to the Papillion Google data center. Google officials are holding similar announcements in other areas of the country as they reveal a collective $9.5 billion investment this year in nationwide offices, data centers, and some 12,000 new full-time jobs. In Douglas County's Omaha, the new data center is to be built near State Street and Blair High Road. Stata said she's grateful for the infrastructure as well as the investment in nonprofit projects, technology, and education. Also in Sarpy County's Papillion, Google said it plans to invest more than $600 million into a data center that said it will employ 120 people. Construction began 3 years ago on the 275-acre campus. Google said jobs include supplier roles, computer technicians, engineers, maintenance, and security positions. So
mm,
again, Google is constantly and has been over several decades one of the top employers as far as just employee retention. Employees who enjoy working for Google,
mm.
and hopefully this will aid and kind of go alongside with some of the investment that we'll be seeing with the 375 million that will be coming into North and South Omaha.
Okay. Yeah, big changes going to be made here. I know that the brothers, Senators Terrell McKinney and Justin Wayne, put some respect on their names. Was also talking about some building or the ability to build around the airport. Some of
Hmm.
those kinds of Google-like structures and
Yeah.
trying to attract some of those types of businesses there as well. So it could be a big influx of jobs. I know that we talk about the gentrification slash colonization of North Omaha. And by the time some of these things get here, they might have us all out of here by then.
That's
Uh,
another side of it. That's another
another
side of
side
it.
of it. But if we're also fighting for space in North and South Omaha the way that we are, we might win that fight as well and be here for some of those things when they come. So it's a positive thing. I think it's a positive thing for there to be industry that comes a little closer to north and south and downtown, and that would be good. It can't hurt. It can't hurt. If there's affordable
Right.
housing out here and jobs out here, then we might have the situation be that it thrives a little bit better than it has been.
Right, right. And then some of the community elements that gravitate and kind of help build community. Again, hopefully all of these things work hand in hand to get North and South Omaha to where we all know it could and should be. And also Google is such a big player, man. I hope that this, kind of emboldens other, like we will see some Amazons and, we'll see some other major players
Hmm.
have centers and facilities in the North Omaha area, in North Omaha Council Bluffs area, coming in.
Yeah, yeah, would be good. That's good to hear. Good to know.
Yeah, yeah. But as I kind of mentioned earlier, the flip side of all of this investment is the flood mitigation, because as we know, the airport is close to the river. That
Hmm.
all that area is close to the river, and it has flooded. So again, with this investment, not just in North Omaha, but also downtown. I actually was talking to a friend of mine who works in construction, and I did not know, but apparently they've started construction on the ConAgra campus, the new ConAgra campus already, and the plan is to have that done at the same time that they have the new amphitheater and the new park downtown done. So very aggressive plans and investments. Of course, they have the science building that's going to be popping up down there. A lot of things going on downtown, and there's no real climate action plan for this. And this is a bill that I personally been ringing for the last couple months because I just personally see the writing on the wall. And it's nice to know that I'm not the only one. KMTV just recently released an article, and this is kind of in the spirit of Earth Day, but it's talking about Omaha's climate action plan, which actually Omaha is pretty behind on. Shout out to Lincoln; they recently released an action plan that's a little further than Omaha's, but it's so bad actually that private companies have decided that they needed to step up because the city of Omaha wasn't doing enough.
Damn.
Like OPPD and other companies have stepped up, and Omaha has made some strides in the past few years towards making the city more sustainable and climate aware. But again, the threat of flooding, and also there's been several fires across the state and in the area recently. So again, climate change is a real thing. And actually, City Councilman Pete Festerson, who was also at the Earth Day event, and did make an announcement that Omaha is officially acknowledging Earth Day. But he says, I feel strongly that cities need to lead on the issue of climate change action planning. It's one of the most important issues of our time. We've done some improvements, but there's a lot more we need to be doing, and we need a comprehensive plan to get there. He also went on to say other cities, for example, have done things in the first year or two that they can get done immediately, whether it's through city fleets or city structure or city transportation and transit, and then also getting to longer term goals like getting carbon emissions down by 80% by the year 2050. That's an express goal for the city of Lincoln. They're much further along than we are right now. The city is working with Smart Cities Advisory Committee, which is a national board on the plan, but they're still working to draft a request for proposals. So they're still putting some of that stuff together. But while the city is behind in its action plan, companies like OPPD, they're stepping up to do their part. The utility company is working to be a carbon net zero by 2050, which is the year that a lot of organizations, a lot of businesses, a lot of cities across the nation have kind of marked 2050 to be the year to kind of get control, especially of our carbon emission, because a lot of scientists are kind of looking at that year as the point of no return, if you will. Again, once we get to 2050 and have not seriously addressed climate control, climate changes, and carbon emission, then we're kind of going to be on a slippery slope as far as our environment. And we've seen this really over the last couple of years. Remember, not too long ago, just in August, we've seen Saddle Creek turn back into a creek. Cars are floating away. Remember the story of the people that got caught in the library, or not the library, but the elevator.
Man,
They thought it was over. They thought it was over. So, and that was just one of, I believe, 3 or 4 major floods in the last handful of years. And I'm going to go on a limb and say it's going to get worse. Again, we are downstream from the polar caps. They're going to continue to melt. That water is going to continue to go downstream. We're going to continue to have, crops damaged, soil damage from these fires. So, what's to say about how these soil is going to soak up some of that water, and what is going to happen with our water. And again, with all of this investment in downtown for multi-billion-dollar projects to be popping up downtown in Omaha, to not really have a plan to keep and maintain these things is a cause for real concern.
Yeah, big time. When I first got in town, I was down at riverfront playing music a lot. I can't remember the name of that fish
Man,
restaurant that was
Rick's
down.
Boathouse Cafe.
Rick's
Gone.
Boathouse. Used to play at Rick's Boathouse all the time, man. And then a few years into it, the river started rising and started flooding out that whole area. Shut the restaurant down. Shut that whole area down. And it was down for a few years
Yeah, man.
until that water went back down. So, that told me right there, if you're gonna build anything along the riverfront, maybe we don't have the infrastructure for all that stuff quite yet in order to do all the building that they were doing. So, but they're still planning on doing a whole lot more there. Like you said, the science center is supposed to be down there,
Yep.
just in that area alone. So, yeah, lots going on there. What is it called? The Gene Leahy Mall? Is that what it was called when
Yeah.
that whole waterway up to the library almost?
Mm-hmm.
So I remember reading about how they built when they built that, they were trying to just bring some of that river into downtown to have a water feature down there, and it was like a lane that they built where the water can come from the river and then hit the Gene Leahy Mall, fill up the little lake there or whatever. um and there was some stories about how that rose up and started getting a little scared, like it was getting ready to flood over a couple times because of whatever they had going on there. So that this it's anytime they're doing any building, especially around that area, the Conagra area had lakes, had man-made spots where the water was flowing into and all that. This is kind of scary. If you don't acknowledge, if you're in a state that doesn't acknowledge climate change all the way.
And that's what I'm thinking with this, man. You hit the nail definitely on the head with that one, because you look at Nebraska's a red state. You look at the conservative leadership in the state and in the city. I mean, it's not a surprise that they don't really have a plan if you don't believe climate change is a real thing. If you don't believe that these are real problems, then you probably aren't going to take it seriously enough to make a plan, which again is a cause for concern, man. Like, if you're not going to read the writing on the wall, then somebody has to do something. And big shout out to OPPD for stepping up.
And like Wanda Lewis said, Pete Festerson has plans on the dialogue for climate control. So shout out to Pete Festerson for trying to have a plan.
Right.
Also,
right.
Ms. Erica Fell says city planning must be done in coordination with environmental protection. Many cities have done this for decades. Yeah. A lot of cities are way more progressive than this one as well.
Right.
She says in some cities, all new structures must be approved with the city's environmental department as well. That's interesting. I can't see that happening here for a while.
Man, I don't even know who's a part of this city's environmental department. I would kind of like to look into that. I don't know who that is.
Wanda Lewis says approximately 6 years ago during heavy rains, the water flooded all the way up to Florence Boulevard.
Man,
that's what I'm saying. That was when that river took over the whole riverfront area. Brother Sanchez says Anchor Inn, Freedom of America Park both got flooded.
Yep.
She says, Wanda Lewis says, the river used to run through there. However, it was rerouted decades ago. They say the river will often find its way back. Northeast Omaha is in the lowest part of the valley, low plain area. Phew.
So do they want to flood out North Omaha? Like, what, what is this leading to? What, and again, what's to say for the 375 or so investment that's coming to North Omaha that has not been planned for yet? It's one thing to obtain something, it's another to maintain the thing. So you can get it, but can you keep it?
And you know what else is good to find out? Like when we have the senators on, we should find that out. How much of this 370 million is going to environmental, climate change adjustments? Because I know that those brothers are progressive enough to have thought of that. Like I can't imagine brother Terrell McKinney, put some respect on his name, isn't including that in the stuff that he's pushing for in particular. So yeah, Brooks said that's where I'm at. That's concerning. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It is. A lot of people say that they want to gentrify the place or colonize the place because it's because Omaha doesn't flood and doesn't get tornadoes and so on and so forth. Well, if they're doing a whole bunch of man-made rerouting and leaving certain areas out, might be a New Orleans and might be a
Hurricane Katrina
the
type
levees
situation?
the levees break situation, right? You never know. So Paul Philman says environmental racism. Wow.
It's a
We can look
mouthful.
at Portland. Portland was doing that in the 70s. Miss Erica Phelps said we can look at all the way back in the 70s. You had to kind of go to the environmental. You couldn't just build stuff without having taken the environmental stuff in account as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it'd be nice if we can think of all the new structures and everything that's being built as with those things in mind.
Dang, Mr. Rockefeller says if you see a levee being built, then you know.
It's time to go.
Right.
Oh Lord, that's
You know.
heavy.
Well, again, like I said, man, I've been bringing this up in editorial meetings and meetings with our media partners and trying to get to the bottom of it. And it's nice to see finally some coverage talking about Omaha's climate action plan and just how behind it is, man. And even this Channel 3 article says nothing about flooding. It doesn't talk about flooding. It doesn't really talk about the investment. They're more so talking about carbon emissions and decarbonization, which is also important. But I think the concern about flooding is a real thing, man. Like there's a lot of investment going on, and that could impact a lot of dollars.
That's rough. Ms. Erica Fell says they even had a limit to how tall buildings could be due to environment. Now the last 15 years have changed that in many ways, but they still get tax breaks for things like rain barrels, etc. Something to look at. There's models all over the place for sure.
Yeah, maybe we need to have Councilman P. Festerson on there to kind of get his view and really see what the city is actually planning on and where those conversations and that dialogue currently stands.
For sure. He's a friend of First Sky Omaha. We'll definitely do that. Let's take a quick break. It's 8:31 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, you're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, Buddy the God, Star Trek Rich. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. We got Matt Hansen coming up next and the Haps as well. Don't you touch nothing. Let's go. Welcome back. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, Buddy the God, Star Trek Rich. As you can see, Buddy the God is still in the house. He's over here at Weberized Studios with us, heading back to Atlanta today, but it was good that he came out to visit us. Sure. And I'm glad that you guys got to come to the Chat Chimers kickback and meet him in person. That was dope. Super dope. It is 8:32 right now, if you believe in the concept of time, and we have a special guest in the house from Flatwater Free Press. We got my man Matthew Hansen in the house.
Hey guys,
this morning, Hansen. How you doing, Matt?
You guys.
All right. Can't complain. Good seeing you.
Yeah,
I'm coming to you live from Red Cloud, my my hometown. Population 1,000.
Population 999 when you left, huh? That's what's up, man. Well, I appreciate you taking time on your time off here to jump on the show with us.
Yes.
And talk a little bit. Yeah. How's things going? Is it a business or pleasure trip?
It's a little bit of both. I'm actually here to do a story about there's an artist from LA that's come to Nebraska. I think he's from LA. To basically his art project is to retype works of classic literature, and one of the ones in the places where those authors grew up or where they made their name. And so right now he's doing Willa Cather, who's a famous author from my hometown. So he's on the main street of Red Cloud, I think today. I'm going to go find him after this and interview him for that. But yeah, we so that's what I'm doing here. But man, it is a busy week at the Flatwater Free Press. It's we have a reporter near the Ukrainian border. We have somebody working on a really important environmental project. We have stories coming about North Omaha housing. It's going to be a crazy one at FFP.
Man,
Wow.
I'm excited to hear that. I'm glad to hear that.
And
And
who did you send to war-torn country?
man.
The lucky reporter is Natalia, who you guys have met a couple times. I know Natalia Almdur. She's currently in Warsaw.
Wow.
She landed last night. There's a group of Nebraskans there who are participating in the relief efforts for Ukrainian refugees. So they're doing things like getting them housing, getting them food, helping them with medical, doing all that basic stuff that, and the number of refugees out of Ukraine is just staggering. I mean, it's, I think, the numbers in the 7 figures, right? It's millions.
Wow.
And a lot of them come into Poland. So she's in Warsaw right now, but she'll be heading closer to the Ukrainian border here in the next couple of days to visit some refugee camps, refugee areas that are closer to the Ukrainian border.
Man,
wow.
Definitely looking forward to that report, and wishing safe travels for Natalia. We always enjoy speaking with her. Great journalist. So definitely looking forward to that report, man. That's interesting. I know, Paul, you were just asking about that. Some Ukrainian coverage.
Yeah, I mean, didn't realize that was happening. So I'm very surprised that you guys got that going on. That's awesome. That's like the our news fam out here is representing out there in where the war is going on right now. So that's heavy. Also, it's heavy to hear that there's a group of Nebraskans that's out there helping. I'd love to hear back from them, and some of these stories we have been talking about the war. We've been talking a lot about how people of color have been thrown to the back when it comes to not being able to get out of the situation in time. So I'm anxious to see what kind of efforts there are for everybody being able to do what they need to do to get out, and if they're trying to go and get some help to go. Yeah. We've all seen the news coverage of the woman with the 4-day-old baby that was in the 4-degree weather sitting out there not able to get on a bus. So it's really interesting that there's even groups of people that from Nebraska that's gone over there to help. I'd love to hear from them as well. So this is super interesting.
No, I agree, and I mean, a lot of the stories are going to focus on the Nebraskans. I mean, there's a couple. She flew with a couple employees from the Children's Museum. I believe the Lincoln Children's Museum, who are going over there because tons of the refugees, right? I mean, a big percentage of the refugees are kids. So they're going to help with, sort of keeping kids occupied in this hotel. I can't imagine, it's just unfathomable to be 7 in this scenario. So I think there's going to be some really fascinating stories, just really important stories that I think are going to come out of Natalia's project. One of the things when you talked about sort of people getting ignored in that situation, one of the things that I have been kind of focused on for the last couple of months as the Ukrainian war started, as there's been, pretty intense media coverage, is Afghanistan. I've been, as a reporter, I've been to Afghanistan. I've written a lot about Afghan Americans in Omaha. And, it's just one of those where it feels a little weird because, it's like sometimes we move on to the next thing. And we forget that there, there are multiple things happening at the same time. And obviously there's an element of race and religion involved, sometimes a little bit easier probably to ignore Afghan refugees. So we actually have a story coming about that too. We have a freelancer working on, because there's been a lot of difficulties with getting Afghan refugees. There was an exodus of Afghan refugees in 2021 in Afghanistan, and I know it's been I've heard that it's been difficult to get them resettled in places like Omaha, all sorts of barriers. So we're going to have a story about that as well.
That's awesome, man.
Do you just really quickly for the Ukrainian? Do you know if the Nebraskans, is that like an organized effort, or are they just going out there on their own?
It's organized, but it's loosely organized, right? In the way
Okay.
that, like, kind of in that beautiful way that things sometimes have to be done. Where, the guy, as far as I understand it, the guy who spearheaded it is a Lincoln guy. He's runs a travel agency, and so he started. I think he was just bothered by what he was seeing early on in that conflict, and so he got some of his friends. He raised some money. I think started mostly in Lincoln, but now it's gone national. And he recruited a couple people, and he went. And they sort of rented out a hotel in Warsaw there, and turned it into a hotel for de facto hotel for refugees. Which the amount of I consider myself a good and moral person, but the idea of just dropping everything. There's a woman over there right now in the Ukraine who quit her job so she could help Ukrainian refugees. I think she actually might end up employed by this organization because and she didn't do it for that reason, right? She did it because she just felt it so deeply. And it always kind of blows me away that there are people like that, who because I'm not that, right? I wouldn't chuck everything to go help the Ukrainians, but I love being in a position to write about those people, to
Right.
focus journalism on those people, because I don't know, we just have something. I always take something from them. There's always something to learn from situations like that, both from the horror of it, I think, and the inhumanity of it, and the humanity of it, and the kind of the small heroic stories that often get missed in those sort of situations.
Jumping in the chat real quick, Leah Keister says, "Love the work you're doing. Just got my membership. Can't wait to rock my FWFP T-shirt." That's what's up.
Nice.
You got shirts. You got shirts.
We do love our merch. We did it with Ray Gun. It's super cool. And we're doing a drive right now that if you become a recurring donor, like give us $10 a month or whatever, you get a free T-shirt. So we've been shipping out a lot of those in the last couple of weeks, which is awesome. And we're gonna do a campaign at some point that's basically gonna be show us your FFP T-shirts on social media, just to really, this thing is growing quickly, and it's cool to see people like the people in your chat jumping on board, because we need all the help we can get, and it's fun to be able to grow this thing. It's important.
Absolutely. We feel the same way, doing the same thing. Paul Philman in the chat says, "There's clearly a difference in response to refugees from Ukrainian versus Central America. Most deaths, what we're talking about."
Yeah, I agree.
Also, he says, "Can FWP send reporter to southern border to witness crisis there? It's blowing up."
Yeah, well, we only have so many reporters. We have 2 full-time reporters right now, so we're stretched a little thin as it is. I'm working on about 5 things this week. But yeah, we want, our ambition is to be able to go where other Nebraska media outlets can't go or won't go.
Won't go, right?
That is our ambition. It runs headlong into reality at some points here, but we're going to focus as much as we can. International coverage and coverage of groups, of refugees, of immigrants coming into Nebraska. That's a much actually easier story to tell logistically, obviously, if you can focus it in Nebraska, but man, it's important. And if you think about the last 30, 40 years in Nebraska, particularly Nebraska outside of Omaha and Lincoln, what is one thing that has massively changed kind of your mid-sized towns and cities in Nebraska? It's immigration. It might be the biggest story of the last half century in Nebraska.
True. Yeah.
And it's not that it's been completely ignored, but man, it hasn't been covered holistically. It hasn't been covered well enough or enough. So yeah, those sort of stories are stories that we definitely want to tell.
Yeah. And I think that kind of came up during that conversation with the reader too. So there might be some collaboration opportunities there. But yeah, I was definitely taken aback to hear that Omaha specifically had such a large number of, I believe, South Sudanese refugees here, and kind of seeing how that has impacted the city. And I'd definitely love to see more coverage about that. So
And I just want to throw in there, this is a running theme here. You know, we've been talking about expanding things that we're doing here at First Sky. We just had Miles Davis from Noise on that was talking about the journalism program that they're putting
Yeah.
together as well. We got reminded about the citizen journalism thing that we got going and have been trying to push too. And then we shout out Keatron Zykel for going around shaking everybody's hand, asking them do they write, because
Right.
she's really pushing to try to find writers. And you guys need new other reporters as well. Like all of our organizations need more reporters,
Yep.
and to cover more subjects, to cover more things. So, if we can all get together and really kind of make a push, especially reporters of color, because there's
Yeah.
really not a lot out here in Nebraska at all. So if we, everybody, we'll put it out to our chat, all of our listeners, everybody who watches this show. If you are even inclined to write, if you're not a journalist but you're inclined to write on some of these stories and cover some of these things, there are situations here with all these organizations that will give you guidance on how to do that. The editors over at Noise will help edit your work. There's a lot going on here that as you can see, we need more people. So you guys are shouting out in the chat. What about the Mexican children still in flux at our southern borders? They don't see that. Yeah, if you, like Brother Chapman, if you know anybody who can go there, there's enough organizations here to connect with to be able to to help with some of that coverage and all that. We need that. Every news organization does, not just the alternative ones. They laid off a bunch of people at Omaha World Herald because we need to help pay for we need to help pay for news these days. We really need to make it so that we are helping financially even the situation, so that people can take the time to go out and cover some of these things that definitely need some more attention.
Yep.
So that we're at Action Group, and that's one of the things I just wanted to put out there about remaining in action there.
Yeah, and I love that journalism academy idea that Miles
Yeah.
has. And I know that Matt Wen, my boss at the Flatwater Free Press, the executive director, has been working on that with him. And it's just, that is such an important medium range. I mean, that doesn't change things in a day, but it changes things over time.
Right.
And it's the sort of thing that needs to happen in Omaha if we're actually going to live our ideals. And yeah, I mean, I'm so happy that they're getting that going. And, journalism is not nuclear physics, right? I mean, it's not simple. I don't want to say everybody can do it because I'm, kind of a snob, but it's also a trade. It's a trade that can be learned. And I mean, the main thing is to have the desire, right? And then that academy is going to be able to give people skills if they have that desire to be able to do it right. So I'm super excited to see where it goes.
Sure of that. Before we let you go out of here, Leah Keister says, "First Sky introduced me to your work." So just she's over on YouTube and just wanted
Thanks,
to
First
let
Sky.
you know. No problem. She says, "I love supporting local journalism. Grateful for everything you all are doing. So appreciate you, Leah Keister." She's over there on YouTube. For those of you on Facebook that don't see it, Wanda Lewis reminds us of the Haitians. That situation where they was on, they were stopping them from coming over, and they were on horses and whipping them and doing all kinds of craziness. Had a really hard time trying to find some shelter there. The Haitian refugees were turned back by the thousands, and it was ridiculous. Paul Philman says, "Journalism pipeline from high schools. Good idea. We can start with whatever journalism programs are in high school, and maybe help try to nurture some of the high school students along in the world that we live in here, and try to get them on that tip." So anyway, yeah, good ideas. Again, we're an action group, so we really want to just try to take some action to find it within ourselves to do some journalism, and also talk to other people who have that notion as well, and let them know there's opportunities here and need in a big way. Before we let you get out of here, man, anything on top of your mind you're excited about? Anything coming up? You got a lot in the pot there, but which ones are you really fired up about?
The only thing I
Personally?
haven't talked about that's important, I think, is this North Omaha housing thing. And I don't want to reveal too many details of it now. It's something we're doing Channel 7, but it's a story that is important, that hasn't been told, that is reshaping North Omaha kind of in a hidden way. So it's interesting, it's important, And it's the sort of thing that we definitely will come back here. Matt, Wynn, and I are working on it together. We'll come back on here when we have it done and talk to your audience about it. I just think it's super important.
Yeah,
Great.
looking forward to that. Looking forward. I actually did have one last a question, and it wasn't about a story that you all are working on. But I was kind of looking through the website, and you have a resources tab, which I thought was kind of interesting and important to speak on. Right now, you have a whole list of public payrolls and you know who's making what in public office, and you know transparency is always a conversation that we're having, especially in the last several years. And I'm just kind of curious: is this resource tab is something you plan on building on, or
Yeah.
kind of what is the idea behind that?
Yeah, it's thanks for mentioning that. I mean, it's easy to kind of forget. Like we put that up a couple months ago, and I haven't been talking about it. And it's stupid not to talk about it because it's really important. That first one is a public payrolls project, and it's essentially you can look up state employee salaries and overtime. And what's great about that for us for journalism is once we built that tool. I mean, this is public information. You could already look it up. But it was clunky, right? So now we've made it a lot easier, more accessible to look up. You can also look up how much different departments of the state spend, right? But what's great for us is that we used it in our corrections reporting. I mean, when you look at overtime spending in the state budget, the main place it's coming from is the Department of Corrections. It's because prisons are overcrowded, and it's because they were having a really hard time keeping staff in there for all sorts of reasons. So, I mean, it really can inform our journalism while being a public tool. You can look up your how much your best friend makes, or you can do stuff that's more serious and kind of get in there and do some research yourself. The next thing that we really want to add that I'm super excited about, and I don't know when it's going to happen, is campaign finance, because it's the same situation. You can go right now. There's a Nebraska Accountability Disclosure Commission. You can go right now and you can look up campaign finance records, but it is really hard. Even reporters who have done it for a long time have a hard time navigating that site. And so what we're going to do, hopefully, is make it easier, right? And you'll both be able to look up who, if it's politician X, where politician X gets all their money from, sort of who are all the big donors, but also donor X. Okay, where has this person distributed money? I mean, it's interesting right now, right, with our current governor, because in one way, I mean, he's a candidate and he raises money for his, for his reelection campaign, but he's a giant donor. And he gives to a lot of other politicians. It's really hard right now to figure out. I mean, you can figure out who he gives to, but it's not that easy. So building a campaign finance tool to make it easy for the public to search that sort of thing is the next place we want to go on resources. And again, that's going to help our journalism as well once we get that built. So thanks for noticing that.
Yeah, man. I'm
Love it.
excited. I know Matt Wynn. Matt Wynn is the data guy, so
That's
I know
right.
he's gonna have a lot of fun kind of coming up with these data sets and making it real palatable for the public. And that's what we're all about, is having informed voters. So I'm definitely excited about that campaign finance thing, because we always say here, follow the money. So we kind of get a wider picture about what's really going on with some of these politicians and some of these candidates. So yeah, man, I can keep going on about all the work that you are all doing. But thank you for coming in and speaking with us, and definitely excited to see.
And thank you to First Guy. I mean, this is exactly, all of us working together, all of us talking about, shared journalistic values. It's perfect. I'm so glad that we're coming on here every week and talking to you guys about what's going on.
That's what it's about.
Right on. We appreciate you coming, man. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Safe travels. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Yes.
All right. There you go, Matt Hansen. This is a Flatwater Free Press, so definitely join Flatwater Free Press Also, you can see they do a $10 t-shirt deal just like we've been doing. So that's what's up. But that's what it is, man. In order for us to the difference between this and how it used to be with news is that you now can have a voice and you can join the conversation. You can be a part of that whole situation there. So that's what it's all about. And we're going to keep that rolling. Let's take a quick break and we'll come back. Trekkie Words of Wisdom up next, and also the Haps. Stay tuned. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, Buddy the God, Star Trek Rich. Stay tuned. You touch nothing.
Hey.
Welcome back. We're going to throw in the Starfleet Daily Meditation. It's going down right here on First Sky Omaha in the morning. Starfleet Daily Meditation today, brought to you by Weberized.com. Go to Weberized if you have podcast ideas. They are the experts on that. But he calls them the Trekkie Words of Wisdom. This one's by Spock. You must have faith that the universe tends to unfold as it should. All right, my man Spock with the spiritual wisdom.
Man.
Even though he was a logic cat, you must have faith that the universe tends to unfold as it should. Legendary, of course, the legendary Spock. So there you go. There's your Trekkie Words of Wisdom for today. And yeah, take what you will from it.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Wanda Lewis in the chat said refugees get to create their own narratives. We know nothing about them. U.S. citizens who remain condemned from their past rarely get to do over. Very true. Talking about African Americans, black folks. We don't get a do over. We can't narrate our own story all the time. We're gonna try. We're gonna do it though. Paul Phillips says more collaboration with the Omaha Star. Absolutely, we're absolutely working on that as we speak. So we're on the same mind on that one for sure. And some other groups that are really trying to do some work as well. So that's what's up. We got Eddie Fossler dropping Spock on us before 9 a.m. Oh yeah. That's what's up. Yeah, thank you for everybody. Yeah, she said, Brooke said, just give us our reparations.
Man, cut the check.
Cut the check. I have to go move back to California to get that check now. I'm seeing that's what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, let's throw in a few haps before we get out of here. Time for the haps, y'all.
What's the haps? What's happening?
Time for us to talk just a little bit about some things that's coming up, and for you to let us know about some things coming up too. We got about 3 minutes before the show is over. We don't really do an extensive haps on Monday. We kind of save that for Friday, but there are some things happening this week, buddy. What's on the agenda today?
Oh man, I don't have it in front of me right now.
Okay, my bad.
Okay, here we go. Coming up tomorrow. So this is something, again, we don't really have too many on Monday because it's the beginning of the week. But as we mentioned at the top of the show, it is election season. 'Tis the season. There is a candidate forum that's going down. Alicia Shelton, Tony Vargas, Wayne Hudson, and Greg Gonzalez will all be in attendance. This will be a back-to-back community forum featuring Black and Brown candidates for Congressional District 2 and Douglas County Sheriff. So again, if you weren't able to catch the debate between Alicia Shelton and Senator Tony Vargas, you can tune in. Well, that is, I believe, still available on Facebook, that stream. But you can check this one out live. Again, that's going down tomorrow from 7 to 9. This will be at the Tri-Faith Initiative will also be available online. There are tickets available, so I do think this is something you at least have to RSVP or register for. You can go to eventbrite.com for that information. But this is an event held by the Urban League of Nebraska Young Professionals. So again, informed voters is what we want. So make sure you please tune in to this, especially if you were not able to catch the last debate.
There you go.
Also, coming up April 30th, there will be a canvassing day. So if you'd like to get hands on with some of the candidates out there, they are looking for volunteers to come out and help canvass and touch the people. This will be April 30th, coming up Saturday, April 30th. Both Alicia Shelton and Brianna Full again going out canvassing. So if you would like to assist in those campaigns, you can do so. Again, that's coming up Saturday, April 30th. So tap in with either of those campaigns to assist.
There you go. Lots going on there. Chris Ignore says Alicia Shelton for Congress. There you go. Hey, it was good hanging with you the other night, Christy. I'm very glad to have met all you. Once again, just want to thank everybody that came out to the Chat Chimers kickback the other day, and way beyond my expectation. I had way more fun I was thinking I was gonna have, and it was really, really cool to meet everybody. And we'll have to do like Flatwater does and be like, rep your first Sky shirt and tag us, all that good stuff.
Yeah, man.
she had fun. I had fun too. I really did. I really appreciate it. It is 9:00. We are going to get out of here, and we'll save some haps for Wednesday, and of course have an extensive haps on Friday. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, Kimber Snipes is in my neighborhood. You got to walk down to the spot. I love it.
Yeah,
that's what's
came
up.
down to the spot, man. It was lovely seeing everybody. I appreciate y'all for showing up, and shaking some hands, getting your t-shirts and everything. And until next time.
Yeah, that's what's going on, man. Love it, love it, love it. Real quick, Von Chapman says, doing a deep dive into these donors who gave money to politicians and got access to land in North Omaha, and found out that former city council person in District 2, Ben Gray, was heavily financed by the Sherwood Foundation. The end result is North Omaha completely colonized. Sounds like a topic for another day. We'll have to deep dive into that one. So appreciate you, Brother Chapman, for hipping us to some of that information there, and we'll definitely jump into it. In the meantime, between time, we're going to get out of here. Buddy, got some words for the peoples?
Man, as always, we love and appreciate everybody who's a part of this experience, man, from the Chat Chimers to the Ghost listeners, whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, wherever you are. We appreciate you. We love you. We thank you for the support, especially those of you who showed up at the Chat Chimer kickback. I mean, again, it was definitely nice seeing everybody in person, especially with all the, COVID things going on for the last 2 years. It was nice. It was nice, man. So, again, everybody continue to take care of yourselves, drink water, as Miss Erica Feld always says. And until next time, man. Paul B. Take it away.
Right on, Miss Erica Feld says, make a marvelous Monday. Starting the day with y'all sure helped. Drink water and keep your space. Thank you so much for everybody who is chiming in, and thank you to you, Miss Erica Feld, always supporting. Really appreciate you. Paul Philman says, fly safe, buddy.
Thank you.
Tamika Johnson gives us love, peace, and sunshine. Love it. Brooke says, great show. Appreciate you, Brooke. Thank you very much. And to all of you, just again, can't tell you how much I appreciate everybody who has made this show what it is. So thank you very much for that. I want to give thanks to the Omaha Tribe elders for allowing us to be on this land and speak while we're here. Thanks to our elders for allowing us to speak before them. Thanks to you, all the Chat Chimers who will speak with us and tell these community stories and share this knowledge. Really appreciate you. Everyone who is a reoccurring member of the station as well, at $10, $25, $50. We got a lot of memberships going on. So really, really thank you for that. And we need more so we can keep this sustained. So if you don't mind, go to firstskyOmaha.com, hit the donate button so we can keep the party rolling and keep the conversations flowing. So appreciate everybody who is joining us. We're definitely going to get out of here. Yeah, where's Pops? Good question. I talked to him very late last night. I wonder if he slept in. Definitely call and check on him this morning when we get out of here. But appreciate you. Thank you. Leah Keiser says thank you. Miss Erica Phil says safe travels. Hope to catch you soon. Yeah, man. Everybody got all the love, and we got all the love back. So we appreciate you. Once again, want to give a shout out to Brother Rich and the Weberized crew, allowing us to be in this beautiful studio doing our thing. They always got our back, and really appreciate Weberized. Go to Weberized.com if you have podcast ideas and give them your business as well. So we got a nice community of business owners and family here that we try to do stuff with, and they're definitely part of it. So definitely check out Weberized.com. We'll see you soon. Peace. We'll see you Wednesday. We'll have Shar Shelton on Wednesday. And of course, it's Women's Wednesday. So,
Hey, women.
so we'll be politicking with Pete and have Michelle Trosclair soapbox moment. Give me that women again. Give me the women again. We've been delivered.
Man.
See y'all. We'll see y'all Wednesday. Have a good one now. Peace, 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 peace.
By the way, Vanglorious. This is protected by the Red